Welcome to this week's episode of There's No Place Like Hume. So, we're officially 1 week into demolition. A lot of activity here last week. We had framers come out and start pulling down the interior plaster finish and taking a look at the existing structure. Everything looks good so far. The only kind of odd quirkiness was electrical. There were some odd decisions that were made in the past with the electrical wiring in this house, but no fear there. Everything's going to be removed and replaced. We're going to heavy up the service to a 200 amp service coming in, new panel board going downstairs with circuit breakers. So the old fuse box is being pulled out, all the wiring's being yanked. We are in the process of making safe all the electrical and plumbing. And in the meantime, it's been a lot of heavy demo on plaster finish on the interior, and they started pulling the siding down on the exterior. So we'll take a walk through, and then we'll go outside and take a look at the back and take a quick look at the plans so that you guys can see what we're heading towards. So here we go, heading in from the sun porch into the living room. So you can see there's a bunch of plaster and lath that has been piled up here in the staircase from the second floor. As the demo crew has been making their way around, they just kind of slide it down the floor or down the stairs into the first floor, and then we're kind of hauling it out dumpster by dumpster load. This is the load-bearing wall that was up as of last week and completely finished out. The interior finish has been removed. Those studs will ultimately come down, and we'll have a flitch beam running across the top to carry the load of the joist framing above, and that's going to open up the space quite a bit. So all of this that you see right here is going to become the living room. And again, the mop that was right there is no longer there. That was our media wall placeholder. That'll be the vestibule that'll be framed out in the front. You walk into the dining room, you can see a bunch of the windows have been popped out and starting to get the walls all cleaned out. There was no insulation in the walls, so it'll be a big improvement to have a bunch of insulation added to thermally enclose the house. You can see the giant pile of plaster and lath that is now piled in what was the kitchen, which is no longer the kitchen. The only thing left is the refrigerator, but they're kind of making their way through. I think by Monday we'll see all of that cleared out of here. That piece of chimney stack right there is for the flue that was for the mechanical unit and the water heater in the basement. That'll all come out as part of this exercise. And then we are carefully and cautiously going to walk up the stairs. I'm actually going to turn the video off, and I'm going to turn the video back on because I don't want to carry the phone up that pile of mess. So hold, please. And we're back on the second floor now. That was slightly terrifying walking up there, so I'm glad I turned the phone off. Again, tremendous amount of plaster and lath that has been pulled down here. This is all of the stuff on the second floor, so the two bedrooms. Some interesting discoveries. This stud wall, clearly not part of the original construction. You can see it's a lot newer looking, and also the studs only go to the underside of the plaster, which means that was divided at a later date. So probably in the original house, those front two bedrooms were one giant bedroom. Coming into the back here, you can just kind of see some of the siding, or some of the sheathing on the siding had been replaced a while ago, and clearly this bathroom location was not the original bathroom location, because again, the stud framing is different. These original studs, I think if I drop a tape measure on it, were an actual 2-inch by 4-inch dimension. That harkens back to olden days. You can see this newer stuff, on the contrary, is the typical 1.5 by 3.5 inch newer stud framing. So all kind of tells the layers of history of the house. So it's always interesting at this stage to kind of be able to peel back some of the parts and pieces of the house and see what decisions had been made. You can see the back addition that was kind of falling off is the only part that was actually insulated. But again, a tremendous amount of progress in a short time frame. Looking forward to seeing the guys back out here on Monday. They filled one entire dumpster on Friday. We think that they'll probably fill in another entire dumpster on Monday, clearing this out, and then we'll probably have at least 1 or 2 more rounds of hauling stuff out of here before we get the floors all cleaned up and we can start laying out the new walls. So, but good progress in the first week. Let's take a quick peek outside shortly, just so you can see the siding and what's going on outside. So here we are in the back of the house. You can see the demolition of the siding has begun back here, unveiling a myriad of conditions, both from some parts of the addition, some parts of the original house, some of the wood siding in better condition than others. It's all good though. It's all coming down. We're going to put a new fiber cement siding up, which will get us a nice, clean, consistent appearance all the way around the house, including the addition. We'll take a quick look around. So there she is in all of her glory. You can see that pulling down the siding in the back has actually revealed a couple of interesting conditions. One, we have a plywood framed addition at the top on the second floor, and the original wood siding actually goes around the addition on the first floor, which means that that was part of the original house, which was unexpected. Did not see that coming based on the foundation conditions. Also noticed that the wood siding is clearly in pretty bad disrepair. See a lot of rot, and we had originally looked at potentially saving the wood siding, scraping it and painting it. Obviously that's not going to happen, so we're going to put a new fiber cement siding up, which will be, I think, a much cleaner solution, and it'll give us a nice consistent appearance all the way down and around the house. So, you know, just kind of starting to crack open the exterior, taking down some siding on the front porch as well. I think that they'll see a little bit more activity on this week once we have another couple of dumpsters out here, start pulling down more of the siding. And then once we get into the new work framing, all this will get opened up, but we're still a few weeks away from that happening. So yeah, we will take another look at some of this stuff next week, and hopefully we'll continue to see a lot more progress. So here's a quick little preview of the new working model that we have for the house at Hume. This is a Revit three-dimensional building information model. So we're using this to not only design, but also to generate the construction drawings, which are being submitted for permit and are being sent out for bid for construction. So in this image, you can see the front of the house has been reopened, and we've restored the original front porch, which I think is much more in line with the character of the neighborhood in all of these houses, these four squares and the neighboring properties. Kind of swinging around the back, you can see the addition, which is here on the back side of the property. So this would be the extension. You can see the kitchen interior in there, master bedroom suite up top with a small kind of covered porch on the rear, which we think will help to give us a little bit of shade and cover from the weather as we're kind of poking in and out of the backyard. If I go into the level 1 view, this is the interior of the space. Again, front porch here, you can see that's the vestibule. The media wall where the mop was is right there with the TV mounted on it. Kind of spin around, you can see the perspective from the living room through the dining room and then into the new kitchen, which is located in the back with the sliding doors and the rear porch. And if we go up to the second floor, you can see there is the two front bedrooms that are still pretty much the same, except for some minor changes to the proportions. If we spin around, you can see a little bit better. This is the master bathroom. This is the second bath. This is the master bedroom. This is the addition in the back with the walk-in closet, and then the laundry located there. So all, pretty much complete with the design at this point. We're just looking to wrap up a couple of zoning related items, and then we'll be getting these drawings in for permit with the city and start seeing some of the new work framing hopefully take place in the not too distant future once our permit is issued. So that's a quick walkthrough of the house as it stands right now in both the demolition and the new work design. So we will continue to keep everybody updated as the project develops and we get more and more stuff to share. So looking forward to sharing another round of progress images and videos next week. Till then.